I mean, that doesn't always play out like that, you know?
Yeah.
That doesn't.
One of the sickest things that somebody discussed in DVR that I realized I was doing the same thing was I got this beautiful girl at home in a nice king size bed, right, waiting for me, and I'm pulling up after the bar closes and sitting in the driveway cold, still doing lines and drinking out of a bottle while she's waiting for me inside. She just wants me to be home, and I'm too drunk to go inside.
Right.
And fucking, you know what I mean? Like, that's how sick it is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Wow. And that's a person you love. Like,
That's, and all she wants is for me to be inside and in that bed with her and home safe. But I'm so much of an addict, you know. I'm still, you know, already closed the bar out, still sitting in the driveway with the heater on, drinking and snorting lines.
And you're choosing this over this person that loves you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's sick.
Yeah, that's.
It's crazy
tough,
when
man.
you look back at your time.
Yeah.
And you realize, like, the stupid things that you would do.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And that were completely normal for us.
Yeah.
On a daily basis.
Yep.
I was so in denial that I had shakes. I'll tell you this. Like, I couldn't hold a glass of water or anything, like, for 2 years at this point. And I was so just in denial until I went to rehab. And 15 days in, I was able to hold a cup of that stupid fucking plastic cup of coffee that they have.
Yep.
I remember
so pissed. I was like, fuck, I had the shakes the entire time, and I was just like telling people, I don't.
I remember why I realized it was a problem. We all did realize he had a problem where we met up at I met up with him at 9 a.m. He was already like lit. It's like you know, Friday night 12 a.m. drunk at 9 a.m.
A whole lot of hair of the dog.
And then we met up. We met up at 4 p.m. later. Everyone, and he was still like, I'm not, you know. I mean,
no, it's okay.
Yeah. I was like, Jesus, like that's
And we had the meeting later on that day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 4 p.m. we met
Lord.
up,
and he was
tore up. Freezing with no jacket, like Jesus Christ.
I was at the park the whole time just drinking.
Yeah. And you asked him to sober up too before the meeting.
I was like, you better not show up drunk.
And I did.
And then shortly after that, like, I gave him the boot from this whole thing, kind of, not really, but you know, I was like,
you wake up call.
He was farting and making. He would.
No, I was like falling asleep.
He was
like,
working the sound at one of my comedy shows. And he saw that their time was out, the comics. He wouldn't wait for them to finish out, just put music over their comedy.
No, I didn't do that.
Yeah, you did.
Blunt,
boy. No, I didn't.
You Apollo theatered those.
No, there was one that I was like already buzzing, and like I was working for the show though, and he did not tell me that this one guy had more than 10 minutes. And so I kept giving him the light, and like he just like wasn't. I also farted during one.
He brought up Nicole Tran, this older comic, to that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. Tupac shoot him up. He brought this sweet old lady. Tupac hit him up.
Okay, in my defense, I was doing that on purpose because I was going based off people's jokes, and so like I was like,
that's why I fucked you, bitch.
Yeah.
You fat motherfucker. What's up?
I'll still do that till this day if I'm DJing.
I thought that was hilarious.
That had nothing to do with being drunk.
That's a perfect way to bring it up.
Yeah, it was a comedy show.
It was a comedy show. I'm not sure.
But no. But yeah, sorry to interrupt. But like, yeah, like that was like my job. It was affecting everything I did in life, and like it was like no. Trust me, like I still care. But like, how much do I care if I'm showing up drunk?
Yep.
If I'm fucking up the show, I love entertainment myself. I'm in a band, like, you know, this is my life. But I really don't care that much if I'm fucking other people's.
It takes
dreams.
over everything, man.
Were you fucking up?
Everything.
Was it affecting your job too?
Yeah. Yep.
And then when alcohol causes problems or drugs, whatever, you go solve it with more alcohol.
Yeah.
Because that's what's gonna solve my.
Yeah.
problems.
There's times where like, you know, I'm trying to keep it cool, but then I'm doing that level up thing all night, too drunk, do some more coke. You know what I mean? Like doing that all night, and I'm trying to play it cool. I'm like, all right, I got work in the morning, and it's next thing I know, it's fucking time to go to work. It's 5 a.m. or something. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
and now you're all doped up with caffeine.
Yeah. Just mixed emotions. So either go in and try to wing it, and you know everything, or call in sick,
and drink more.
Yep.
If you got the day off, might as well.
There's some of the bars that I was going to. They have like they open at 6 a.m. because not only is that legally when you can sell again, but there's like factories, right? And these dudes are getting off night shifts, so it's their evening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it makes sense. Like they want to go have a nightcap or whatever at 6 a.m. Well, I'm either still up from the night before, and I'm like, oh, they're opening back up, and then I'm from open to close again,
Right.
or or I've passed out for or I passed out for a couple hours, woke up, and I'm shaking now, and so I go back down there. You ever have a Bloody Mary to start it off with.
Yeah.
You ever been 86 from a bar, like in your while you were, like did it get to that point? No. Okay.
But I also hang out at real grimy bars.
Wait.
If my shoes aren't sticking to the floor, like it's not
This ain't my kind of bar. This shit too fancy for me.
Yeah, people getting.
They got more than 2 cocktails on the menu. What's going on?
There's fights and things are kind of a normal thing, you know. And if you're like a regular and you get in a fight, it's all right. Go home that day and you can come back tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like a high-end place where they're like, never come back again.
You want to go where everybody knows your name.
Hey, what do you like? Do you think about in the future, like the possibility of drinking again? Like, does that ever cross your mind? Like,
No,
if you
'cause I know-
did, like, I know you talked about this when we went. It was after a show, and we went to a bar, he and I, and then we were eating tacos, and I had finished my one beer, and I'm like, all right, let's go. And he was like, I fucking hate you. You couldn't just drink one beer. I'm like,
no, because I know that it'll take me right back. Like I said, once my brain feels that little bit of alcohol,
2,
it's
3,
like I know
4.
where this goes. You
Right.
know, my brain goes, don't tease me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
The hardest part is when you, sorry to interrupt, but like when you like talk to yourself and you're like, it's gonna be a slow night. Like I'm just gonna have 1 or 2.
Yeah.
That's it. And like,
You'll
and you
convince yourself, too.
you try your hardest, man. You try your hardest.
We're only gonna have 1 slice.
Yeah, no, 100%. But you like somehow convince yourself
Just
that, like,
one cannoli.
You're okay.
Yeah. Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
No matter. I love.
It's a real sickness, man.
I love the things that make me laugh during AA meetings and stuff is when people say this, because I used to do this all the time, but when you start realizing you have a problem, right? You're like, oh, okay, well, if I'm drinking everything, what if I just drink wine, right? If I just drink wine, it's going to be fine. And then that doesn't work. And you're like, okay, but if I just drink white wine, then that's going to be okay because I won't get that drunk, right? And then you're like, okay, no, whiskey only is later at night if I'm sober all day. Then you just start like telling yourself things that are like going to be a solution to this, right?
I saw an article.
Make up reasons why it's okay.
Yeah.
I saw an article someone made about
after it's okay.
how crack is healthier than fentanyl.
I mean,
remember what I said? It's fine if you don't die.
We need to up our game and shit. We need to do comedy butt naked, right?
I remember this too.
For you, but thank you.
He started saying his goodbyes.
At the end, I just remember the guy coming up and giving me the check, and he goes, "Yeah, that'll be our last time."
When the Beatles, wrote the White Album, did they have to like pass it in front of some drunk? So why are we doing